This video is for those thinking about starting a nonprofit and getting 501c3 tax-exempt status from the IRS. Today I am walking you through Form 1023-EZ, the streamlined application that makes the process faster and more affordable than most people think. Thanks to Marcus from Tucson for requesting this video. I'm Katie St. Ors, certified financial planner and licensed tax consultant. Let's get going. This information is for educational purposes only and does not replace personalized tax advice. Before we touch a single form, let's make sure you understand what we are actually applying for. A 501c3 designation means the IRS officially recognizes your organization as tax-exempt. That means your nonprofit does not pay federal income tax on money it receives related to its exempt purpose. Even better, donors who give to your organization can deduct their contributions on their federal tax return. That combination, tax-free income for the organization and tax deductions for donors, is what makes 501c3 status so powerful. There are two ways to apply for it: the full Form 1023 and the shorter, faster Form 1023-EZ. Today we are focusing on the EZ version, but I will tell you when the full form is the better route. And here's where it gets interesting. Not every organization qualifies to use Form 1023-EZ, and skipping the eligibility check is the #1 mistake filers make. To use Form 1023-EZ, your organization must meet several key requirements. Your projected annual gross receipts must be $50,000 or less for each of the next 3 years. Your total assets must be $250,000 or less. You must be organized in the United States, and you cannot be a church, a school, a hospital, or a supporting organization. Those entities must use the full Form 1023. The IRS provides an eligibility worksheet at the end of the Form 1023-EZ instructions. In the most recent update, 4 new questions were added to that worksheet. Work through every single question. If you answer yes to any disqualifying question, you are not eligible for the EZ form. But you can still apply using the full Form 1023. If you answer no to all disqualifying questions, you are cleared to move forward with the EZ. Let me break that down for you with an example. Say you want to start a nonprofit dog rescue in your hometown. You expect to take in about $30,000 in donations and adoption fees in your first year. Your startup assets are a used van worth $8,000 and $5,000 in a checking account, well under the $250,000 asset limit. You are organized in the U.S., you are not a church or a hospital, and you clear every question on the eligibility worksheet. You qualify for Form 1023-EZ. Now compare that to a friend who wants to start a private school. Schools are explicitly excluded from the EZ form, no matter how small they are. She must use the full Form 1023, which has more detailed schedules and a $600 filing fee compared to the $275 fee for the EZ. Knowing which path applies to you before you start saves time, money, and the frustration of a rejected application. Now let's talk about what you need to have ready before you sit down to file. First, you need your employer identification number, also called an EIN. This is your organization's tax ID number, and you must have one before you can file. If you do not have one yet, you can apply for it free on the IRS website in minutes. Second, you need your organizing document. This is your Articles of Incorporation if you are a corporation, your Articles of Organization if you are an LLC, or your trust agreement if you are a trust. Your organizing document must include what the IRS calls the Required Purpose Clause and the Dissolution Clause. The Purpose Clause states your organization exists for one or more exempt purposes under 501c3. The Dissolution Clause states that if your organization dissolves, its remaining assets will go to another 501c3 organization or to the government, not to private individuals. If your organizing document is missing either of these clauses, you will need to amend it before filing. Third, you need to know your National Taxonomy of Exempt Entities code, called your NTEE code. This is a 3-character code the IRS uses to classify what your nonprofit does. There is a full list in the 1023-EZ instructions. Pick the one that best describes your primary activity. Once you have your EIN, your organizing documents, and your NTEE code, you are ready to file. And this part is easier than most people expect. Form 1023-EZ is filed entirely online through Pay.gov. You cannot mail a paper version. Go to Pay.gov, create a free account if you do not already have one, and search for 1023-EZ in the search box. The form itself is straightforward. It asks for basic information about your organization, your EIN, your NTEE code, your organizing document details, and a series of checkboxes confirming you meet the eligibility requirements. One thing that surprises people: in Part 3, you have to describe your mission in 250 characters or less. That is not a lot of space, so be concise and focus on your primary exempt purpose. You will also select your foundation classification. Most small nonprofits applying on this form will be public charities rather than private foundations. When you reach the payment screen, the filing fee is $275. This is paid directly through Pay.gov by debit or credit card. Once submitted, the IRS generally processes Form 1023-EZ applications within 4 to 6 weeks. You can check the status of your application on the IRS website using the Where's My Application tool. When approved, you will receive a determination letter from the IRS confirming your 501c3 status. Keep this letter. You will need it to open a bank account, apply for grants, and prove your tax-exempt status to donors. Keep an eye on the clock. To make your tax-exempt status retroactive to the day you started, you generally need to file within 27 months of incorporating. Getting your 501c3 doesn't end at the determination letter. There are ongoing obligations you need to know about. Once your 501c3 is approved, your nonprofit must file an annual information return with the IRS every year. Which form you file depends on your size. If your gross receipts are normally $50,000 or less, you file Form 990N, which is just a short electronic postcard. If your gross receipts are between $50,001 and $200,000, and your total assets are under $500,000, you file Form 990EZ. If you are above those thresholds, you file the full Form 990. Missing 3 consecutive years of these filings will cause the IRS to automatically revoke your tax-exempt status, and reinstating it requires filing all over again. Beyond federal requirements, most states require nonprofits to register separately to solicit donations or to claim a state tax exemption. The National Association of State Charity Officials maintains a resource that can help you navigate state-by-state requirements. And one more thing to keep in mind: 501c3 organizations are prohibited from participating in political campaigns. You cannot endorse or oppose candidates for public office. Lobbying is allowed to a limited extent, but political activity is a hard line that can cost you your exemption. A lot of people assume the 501c3 application is complicated and expensive, but for eligible organizations, Form 1023-EZ is genuinely one of the most accessible things the IRS offers. Let's do a quick recap of the full walkthrough. Step 1. Work through the eligibility worksheet to confirm you qualify for the EZ form. Step 2. Obtain your EIN from the IRS website if you do not already have one. Step 3. Review your organizing documents to make sure your Purpose Clause and Dissolution Clause are in order. Step 4. Identify your NTEE code from the instructions. Step 5. Go to Pay.gov, create an account, find Form 1023-EZ, and complete the online application, including your 250-character mission description. Step 6. Pay the $275 filing fee through Pay.gov. Step 7. Wait for your determination letter, which typically arrives within 4 to 6 weeks. Step 8. After approval, set up your annual 990 filing calendar so you never miss a deadline. Step 9. Check your state's registration requirements for nonprofits. Follow those 9 steps and you will have a fully recognized, federally tax-exempt nonprofit organization. Thanks for watching. I'm Katie St. Ors. See you for my next video where I talk about everyone's favorite subject, taxes. This information is for educational purposes only and does not replace personalized tax advice.